Sawadika. Welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. So I love mussels. I love them. Okay, you do them anyway. Chances are I'm gonna love it. But today's recipe is extra special because these mussels are gonna get smothered in all sorts of Thai herbs that are my favorite, and it's super fast, super easy, and it's got a very impressive name. So it's called หอยแมลงภู่อบสมุนไพร Huh? Super impressive if you can say that to your friends. หอยแมลงภู่ is mussels. Op means sort of to cook something in an enclosed space. And สมุนไพร is herbs. So good. So let's get started. Cooking good mussels come down to this one thing. A delicious broth. You get the broth, you dump the mussels in, close the lid, 2 minutes and it's done. So it goes fast. You want to make sure that you've got all the ingredients ready to go and laid out like I've got here, and I'll talk about them as I add them to the pot. A little bit of oil, just a little. Let's start with sauteing some garlic and onion. I'm using garlic and red onion. Now you could definitely use shallots. Shallots are very common in mussels. I just happen to have red onions in the fridge that I wanted to use up. My original recipe didn't have any garlic, and then someone on Facebook said, I love mussels with lots of garlic. And I was like, oh, how did I not think about that? So give that a little time to cook and soften and let the flavors infuse into the oil. Okay. This is pork stock, but you can just do chicken stock. And now all my samun prai or all my herbs. Some lemongrass, which I've thinly sliced. Now I just need the lemongrass to infuse. I'm not gonna actually eat that. Some galangal slices in there. Of course, Kaffir lime leaves, which I've torn into sort of chunks. I removed the center ribs. Ooh, that's a lot. That's okay. I love it. Some Thai chilies. Now these are Thai chilies that I've crushed until they're broken, but they're kept whole. So that way no one is going to accidentally eat a little piece of chili, but it's just going to gently infuse the heat into the broth. Some tomatoes. So cherry tomatoes, you can just use regular tomatoes if you want. At the end, they'll just sort of break down into the broth, and I find it really adds some extra flavor, a little extra richness to this broth as well. Add some fish sauce to flavor it. I know some of you are thinking that looks like tom yum, and it does. But in the end, I'm gonna add something else that's gonna make it a little different from regular tom yum. I'm bringing that to a boil. So here are my mussels that I bought this morning. Now you want to make sure they're all alive and well. So first of all, smell them. So if they smell bad, that's not good. And if they're open, give them a little tap. And if they close, they won't close right away. Sometimes it takes them a few seconds to sort of wake up. If they close, and that means they're alive, so they're good. If they're open and they won't close, they're dead, throw them away. So make sure you scrub them clean. Some mussels that you buy, some stores will have them pristinely cleaned for you. You don't have to worry about that, but you know, mine came a little rustic. So my broth is now boiling. I'm gonna dump my mussels in. Close it right away. Now, this is going to take about 2 minutes, and what you're looking for is for the mussels to open. So if you've got a pot with clear lid, it helps a lot. Then you don't have to open the lid to see if they're open. So now we just kind of hang out and wait. And you can, if you want, open and, you know, give it a flip just to check out what's going on. It's okay, nothing bad is gonna happen. Most of them are open now. I've got a couple that's still a little bit of a late bloomer, so we'll give them a few more seconds. Almost done. Mussels are done. I'm gonna turn it off. And, ooh, check that out. Oh, smells so good. I'm gonna add my finishing herbs now. I've got some Thai basil. Now this is what's gonna make it different from the regular tom yum. So you just want the heat of the broth to wilt the Thai basil. I'm also gonna add some cilantro, fresh chopped cilantro. One last thing I'm gonna add is some more tomatoes, just because the other ones have already mushed by this point. So I just want some orange and red tomatoes just to give it some extra color. I'm gonna close it just for a few seconds, just using the residual heat to let the steam sort of wilt and bring everything together, and then go get your plates and table setting, and we're almost done. So there are 2 ways you can go about finishing this off. You can serve it as is. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, wow, that's a big mussel. You can leave it as is, and what you're gonna get is sort of a savory broth. But I can also add some lime juice and turn it into something that's a little more tart and refreshing. Either way is really good, so you really can't go wrong. So give it a taste first at this point, and then if you decide, you know what, I want some tartness, you can go in with a little bit of lime juice. And then give the broth a taste. Oof, the smell of that Thai basil is permeating this room. That garlic was such a good idea. All right, let's plate this up. This is not traditionally Thai, but this dish is great served with some toasted bread. So I've got here some toasted sourdough, so you can have something to dip in that broth. Oh, I almost forgot. If there are mussels that didn't open, you could sort of remove the ones that are open and throw it back. Cook it in the broth for about 1 more minute to see if it will open. Some of them really do take longer than others. And if they still don't open, then you can just chuck it. That means the mussel was dead and we don't want to eat that. Now if I had some fries, this would be a great moule frite. So what I like to do is I want to make sure that I get some broth with my mussel, so I always use a spoon. Take some bread, dip it in that broth. That is like liquid gold. This broth is so good. All the flavors work together so well from all the different herbs. And even though I didn't add any sugar, the slight sweetness from the tomatoes balance out sort of the saltiness and the tartness of the lime juice. And it's so light, so refreshing. Nothing could be better than this with a cold glass of white wine on a patio. Oh my God, such a great idea. I should have brought some wine. So the recipe, as always, is on hotthaikitchen.com. If you make this, send me a photo, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I love seeing your photos. And I will see you next time for your next delicious Thai meal.